Imagine a farm where the soil gets healthier every season, where yields improve naturally and input costs drop year after year. Sounds too good to be true? Well, it's not. Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful yet underused strategies in agriculture, combining cover crops with crop rotation. This duo isn't just good practice, it's a game changer for soil health, farm profitability, and long-term sustainability. For your better understanding, we've split this guide into 4 simple parts, each one designed to help you take real action on your farm. In Part 1, we'll break down the basics of cover crops, what they are, why they matter, and how they fit into your rotation cycle. Then in Part 2, we'll explore crop rotation itself, how changing your crops season by season can protect your soil and boost your yields. In Part 3, we'll show you what happens when you combine both methods, cover crops and crop rotation, and back it up with real-world stats and results. And finally, in Part 4, I'll give you a seasonal planning guide that helps you map out your fields this season with confidence. Part 1. An introduction about cover crops. Cover crops are special plants that farmers grow not to sell, but to protect and improve the soil between their main crops. The reason we use them is simple. They help keep the land healthy, reduce the need for chemicals, and prepare the field for better harvests in the next season. There are many types of cover crops, and each one has its own job. If your soil needs more nitrogen, you can grow legumes like clover, vetch, or mung bean. They pull nitrogen from the air and store it in the soil. If you want to stop weeds and hold the soil in place, go for grasses like rye, oats, or sorghum. These grow fast and cover the ground well. And if your land is hard or compacted, brassicas like radish or mustard send deep roots that break up the soil and improve drainage. Choosing the right cover crop depends on your field's condition and what you're planning to grow next. When you match them with your crop rotation cycle, they don't just fill the gap, they supercharge your soil for the future. Part 2. What is crop rotation and why it matters? Now let's move into Part 2, crop rotation. This is one of the oldest and smartest farming techniques out there. Crop rotation simply means changing the type of crop you grow in the same field from season to season. Instead of planting wheat every year in the same spot, you rotate it with something like maize, legumes, or mustard. And the reason is simple. Every crop uses and gives back different nutrients to the soil. When you grow the same crop again and again, the soil gets tired. It loses specific nutrients, pests start to build up, and diseases become harder to control. But when you rotate crops, you break that cycle. You give the soil a chance to recover, confuse pests, and balance the nutrients naturally. For example, wheat takes a lot of nitrogen, but if you follow it with chickpeas or mung beans, those legumes will actually add nitrogen back into the soil. That means less fertilizer and better soil health. There are many smart ways to rotate crops depending on your climate, soil type, and farming goals. In the US, for example, farmers in the Midwest often rotate corn, soybeans, and wheat to balance nutrient use and reduce pest pressure. In southern states, rotations might include cotton, peanuts, and sorghum, while in the Pacific Northwest, you'll see cycles with barley, canola, and legumes. Each rotation is designed to keep the soil active, productive, and biologically diverse throughout the year. This kind of planning doesn't just help with yields, it improves water retention, reduces weed growth, and supports beneficial insects and microbes. You're not just switching crops for variety, you're building a system that works with nature, regenerates your soil, and sets your farm up for long-term success. Part 3. Why combining cover crops plus crop rotation is a game changer for soil health. Alright, now that we understand what cover crops are and how crop rotation works, let's talk about what happens when you put them together. This is where the magic really begins. When farmers combine these two methods, cover crops and crop rotation, they're not just improving soil health, They're transforming their entire farming system. Here's why it works so well. Cover crops fill the gaps between your main crops, keeping the soil covered year-round. That means less erosion, fewer weeds, and more nutrients staying in the ground. Crop rotation, on the other hand, keeps your soil balanced by changing the nutrient demands and breaking pest cycles. Together, they create a natural rhythm that supports the soil, the crops, and even the surrounding ecosystem. And we're not just talking theory here. Farmers around the world are seeing real results. Studies from the Midwest in the US show that combining cover crops with crop rotation can increase yields by up to 30% over 3 years. In some cases, farmers have cut their fertilizer costs by 20 to 40%, simply because the soil is doing more of the work itself. Organic matter improves, water retention goes up, and the land becomes more resilient to droughts and heavy rains. Even better, this system supports long-term sustainability. It reduces the need for synthetic inputs, supports pollinators and beneficial insects, and helps build a healthier farm ecosystem. Farmers in states like Iowa, Nebraska, and Georgia are already using this approach to regenerate their soil and future-proof their farms. So if you're wondering whether it's worth the effort, the answer is yes. Combining cover crops with crop rotation isn't just smart farming, it's future farming. And the best part? You don't need expensive equipment or complicated systems, just good planning, the right seeds, and a commitment to working with nature. Part 4. Seasonal planning. Use this system in your fields. Now let's move into Part 4, the part where you take action. We've talked about cover crops, crop rotation, and how powerful they are when used together. But how do you actually plan this out for your own farm? That's what this section is all about. Seasonal planning means looking at your crop calendar and making smart decisions based on what your soil needs. After harvesting your main crop, you choose a cover crop that fits the season and supports your next planting. For example, after corn, you might plant radish or rye to protect the soil and improve drainage. Before soybeans, you could use clover or vetch to add nitrogen naturally. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just think in terms of windows. What crop just finished, what's coming next, and what your soil needs in between. Most cover crops grow quickly and can be terminated 2 to 3 weeks before your next crop. You can mow them, graze them, or roll them down depending on your setup. To make this easier for you, I've created a seasonal crop planner that you can download and use for your plans. It's linked in the description below. You can use it to map out your crop rotation, choose the right cover crops, and track your results over time. Whether you're farming in the US, Ukraine, or anywhere else, this planner gives you a simple way to stay organized and make smarter decisions. So go ahead, download the planner, make it your own, and start building a system that works with nature, not against it. Your soil will thank you, and your harvests will show it.